Hello Pioneers, in the last episode of our MEGAFACTORY build series, we tackled the challenge of packaged fuel, designing a bespoke multi-level factory to fuel our city's future logistics transportation. This episode, we bring our city's roads to life with truck logistics. We clean up our roads, build tunnels to navigate through the train lines, and even test drones as an alternative transportation method. Can we create a smooth and efficient logistics network? Let's find out. Before we kick off this episode, my lovely viewers have suggested that I set up an awesome sync and a sync fix-it ticket because I'll apparently get something that'll help out with my parking lot designs. So we're going to do that to start ourselves off with. We're going to grab ourselves an awesome sync anywhere, set up a little box temporarily, and belt that in. Then we will need to connect power to somewhere. We'll just borrow power from here. We'll deconstruct all this in a second. Now I need to sync a ticket, so I need to get one ticket. How do I get one? Control, shift, right click, shift, right click, control, right click. I have no idea how to just get one of something. There you go, there's one ticket. So we'll chuck that one ticket in there, and boom.
Fix-it sees what you did there. How creative. I have also been creative. There is something extra special for you in the awesome shop. It is a marvel of technology. It is truly the shape of the future. I will be sad if you do not use it and love it and tell any friends you make in the future all about it.
Sure, Ada, we will use it and love it and tell all our friends. It's a cyber wagon. What? Okay, well, I guess we'll just get this then. Is that all we get? Is there anything else that we get?
Cyber
No.
wagon unlocked. While creating this, I did not cheat with the width, height, or length. I was able to achieve great capability within the same dimensions and same weight as a normal wagon. Part of this is the fundamental design change. I moved the mast to the outside of the truck. You'll love riding around in this thing.
Cyber wagon. Wow, you can actually drive this thing? Its wheels are squares. This can't be pleasant to drive. Wait, do I have to load it with fuel? Apparently I do. It drives like a normal car even though... Oh wait, it's so hard to control. What is this? If you guys have followed my normal series, you know I'm already terrible at driving. This is the worst. What is this terrible thing? Okay, square wheels are not a good idea from an engineering standpoint. Alright, don't design your cars with square wheels. Very cool. We can definitely put some cyber trucks in our parking lots. That sounds fantastic. Thank you, my viewers, for that tremendous suggestion. We will definitely be shoving some in somewhere. We can just put one here for now. They're so small in comparison to like everything though. There you go. There's a little cyber wagon next to our giant truck. That looks pretty cool. I'm going to just dismantle some of these truck stations. But speaking of these truck stations, that's what we're working on today. So last episode, we finished our little fuel station and now our base has fuel. We haven't run the pipeline of fuel, well, it's not a pipeline of fuel, a belt of packaged fuel anywhere along our base yet. But basically for our test case, we're going to try to get these steel pipes that we produced 2 episodes ago over to the other side to make SAM fluctuators in the factory we built 3 episodes ago, right over there. And the best way we decided to transport that is probably using trucks or something like that along these roads. Before I built these roads to be decorative mostly, but since we have roads, we might as well use them for transport, right? Add some life to our factory. That way when we run around our factory, we can see some trucks zooming around and what most likely crashing into each other. But how do we get there? Like if we look at the landscape of our road, we don't actually have a road that goes all the way across, especially through this giant building, which is our train station, to get to the other side. We haven't implemented this road yet. So to get from, say here, the steel, we can either go up that way and around, or we can go down this way and around. And we're going to go around this way around because it's a shorter path. So we need to cross the train station somehow. Now obviously there's 2 ways to cross something. You can either cross over it using a bridge, or you can cross under it using a tunnel. And I am going to opt for the tunnel option. So first I'm going to need to build a road from this side out. So let me get my road blueprints. Where are they? 1 6x4. Yep, that's my blueprint. And we can snap that road blueprint somewhere. Is that level? I think it is level because our train station goes up 1. That top bit is just decorative, right? This is actually flush against the floor. Yep. Got to make sure. Or I build an entire road at the wrong elevation. But see, when the trains and stuff are moving around, it kind of gives a nice like life to our factory rather than everything just being static. I'm just building the roads here for now, and then we'll figure out the tunneling in a bit. Oh no, we've hit the rock. Okay, that's going to be a little bit of an issue. Well, given that there's a rock here, does that mean we need to build around it? Oh, that's just annoying. Well, I suppose I could just extend the lane one extra out this way just to accommodate around this rock. Is there a nice way we can go around this rock? I mean, we can go around the backside of the rock, obviously, but that just seems like extra commute time for my cars. Alright, we're just going to ignore this rock and just pretend it's not there. And we'll just extend our road a little bit out this way to accommodate around this rock. I can't think of a creative way to get around it. So let's go back over to this side and let's get our first tunnel going. Now we essentially want our car to be able to travel like across here, tunnel to here, and then come up this road, right? I think I've changed my mind a little bit already on how we're going to do this road. Alright, let's try again. I'm just going to get rid of what I've done, and since there's a thing in the way over there anyway, all we're going to do is we're going to shift this straight road 6 tiles out, and I think that will help a little bit with the tunneling as well. Well, I'm going to leave that there for measurement. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to build our road out this way a bit. Actually, we're going to need more than 6 tiles, I think. So if we just build some flat ground here, there's going to be enough room for a small factory, a very long and straight factory, and that way it won't get in the way of this rock either. But we're going to build out this floor over here. Oops. We're going to build out this floor over here like this. And we're going to continue the road out from here. So if we build a road like this, but turn it this way, we should be able to continue the road like this. I know these tiles double up, but whatever, that should be fine. Then we can turn the road here, like that. And this will be the main road, and there can be another factory block over here, like a really long, thin factory. We can design something that fits in there one day. We'll go like this, and that way there'll be no rock in the middle of the road either. We can also decorate this rock over here at some point, and we can call it like, I don't know, something, some monument part of our factory. Gonna carve out one more road section here, like this. And that should be blueprintable this way, and that'll join to this road at some point. We'll figure that out. And then I'll just fill in these tiles here. Alright, now our road connects from that side of the factory to this side of the factory, kind of. I need to do this section as well. Maybe we'll just add another section of road. Or maybe just one of these. Then we can just manually do this section of road. Alright, now I think we're ready for our tunnels, and we've got a new building area for factories over here, which is fantastic. I don't want to cut down any of these trees yet in case I want some of these trees to be part of the factory. But here is where we're going to be building our very first tunnel. So we're going to clear out some space for the tunnel, and whether I want to do it 2 tiles or 3 tiles, I haven't quite decided yet. Let's just do 2 tiles because that's easier to manage. So I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff. And we're just going to play around with it until we figure out a tunnel design that we like. I like the idea of a tunnel rather than a bridge, because I think that'll look cooler. So from here, we essentially need vertical ramps downwards, right? I'll probably use the double ramps. What's the shallowest double ramp? 2 meter? That's too shallow. Probably the 4 meter one is good for cars. So we want something like this, and we've got to test. Is something shooting at me from down below? We've got to test if our biggest car can fit underneath this double ramp, and it doesn't visually look like it can. And our biggest car is the truck. 1, 2, that looks a bit like extremely tight, right? Okay, I think visually that already looks too tight. So we'll need like 4 tiles of space for the actual tunnel part. 4 tiles of space, if you mathematically think about these half ramp things that we're building, it should theoretically be down 2 walls worth, right? So that's like 1 wall's worth, 2 walls worth, and that should be enough clearance for a tunnel, I think. Okay, cool. So then from here, we'd need just regular road. So it makes sense, since these are 2 meter foundations, we'll build the floor with 2 meter foundations. I should be doing all of this in asphalt. Asphalt. No, that's fine. I'll just paint it all in asphalt later. So we'll clear it. Oh, does this go to the edge of the train tracks? Yep. So we want to clear it to the edge of the train tracks. Then we want it to go back up using double ramps. And it should meet somewhere here. And theoretically, this should be our tunnel. And this is again why I left so much room over here, because there's no way we would have been able to make this tunnel come up over here. So yeah, I think that should work as a tunnel. We got to test it at some point to make sure a car can actually go through here. So let's use our biggest car in case we want to accommodate trucks, even though these roads don't really accommodate trucks. I mean, they do, but they're like super tight to accommodate trucks. I don't want to drive the truck. I want to put some fuel in you. Don't want to use the biofuel. Let's just put some wood. All right, let's see if this truck works. It barely clears underneath the tunnel, but barely clear is good enough for me. I'm going to chop some of these trees in the way. All right, let's see if we can design this tunnel nicely. Let's obviously first pave it with asphalt. Oops, did I just pave something with asphalt that I wasn't meant to? I don't know. It's fine. All right, now we've got the asphalt in. We need to get some lines in there. Use the side dotted lines and go across like this. Now it joins the main road, and then we'll get another side dotted line going in like this. Now we obviously want to see how this plays in the subfloor, because we are now messing with the subfloor. So I'm going to pave some subfloor underneath it to see how it goes. I mean, this is going to inevitably get in the way of our ability to weave belts and stuff. So we can't use these tunnels too liberally, but it doesn't intercept with the subfloor, so that's good. Well, yeah, it seems to be okay. Like, I mean, we can probably shove something down here or over it, or maybe through the tunnel. I don't know what we're going to do. Or we're going to have to like work around the tunnel for all these belts that need to go through a tunnel area, or we'll just have to try to avoid the tunnel areas. But that's fine. That's most of the tunnel done. Now we need to figure out how walls play into this. So if we get the only thing I can think of is using these side walls. So shouldn't this fit somewhere? No? Is that not how walls work? Is there an inverted ramp wall? 2 meter inverted ramp wall. Like that. So that flattens all of it out. And then we can put regular walls at different heights to this, but this is a we're gonna have to use 1 meter walls, and yeah, we're using the basic fix-it foundation. You can use the 1 meter walls to make some of these, and then I mean, once they become 4 meters, we can just use regular 4 meter walls. So we'll have to do something like this and that, and then all of this can now just be a regular wall, right? I think walls are probably our best bet with our tunnel. So we'll just seal it like this. And use these inverted triangle foundation bits. And then fill the rest in with 1 meter foundations. I think that's the best that we can do. And that way it doesn't impact with the subfloor. And from the subfloor perspective, it just looks like this sealed block area, which is totally fine. Yep, I'm going to do the other side now. And that's a cool little tunnel, don't you guys think? Now we've got some Z fighting going on over here. Why is that? Why is there no Z fighting on this basic wall, but there's Z fighting on this one? That's super weird. But we can fix the Z fighting just by putting these barriers back in, I suppose. There you go. Now, I definitely believe we should try to light up the entranceway towards these tunnels. So let's see if we can add an LED strip here. I think this will be a good spot for it. Oh, doesn't like my horizontal light bands. Oh, yep, fits here. Bit long, but oh, how do I get this down? That's looking good. Perfect, I think. There we go. And that's like the entrance to the tunnel area. Maybe we can get rid of these two lights. Cool. I like that. Now for the actual underneath of the tunnel, we can use real lights if we want to, or we can put some lights underneath here. Say we use something long and narrow, small, probably small billboards. No, that's like too much lighting. Portrait sign is probably the best. That'll do. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Where did I start this from? This line. So like this line. Can't really see what I'm doing. Alright, let me add all these portrait signs in. Now we basically want this effect, so it's just pure light. We have that over here. This is a portrait sign with pure light. So paste all that in. And maybe we want to make it, oh, it's already on maximum emissiveness. Do we want it yellow or like purple though? I'm thinking just white, right? I think white just looks better. It's like light inside the tunnel. Like that, how does that look? I think that looks pretty cool. Let's do the same thing on the other side. And then for a little final touch, I'm just trying to decide what, if I'm going to do left-hand drive or right-hand drive. I suppose in Australia, we drive on this side of the road, so we'll do a little sign over here. And then it's probably going to be a display sign. No, that's a bit small. Large billboard's too big, small billboard's too big. Oh, I don't have a sign that's like big enough for this. But if we put a sign centered like this and like one underneath, maybe here. We can put an icon on here, and the icon can be an arrow, and we can do like a different color. Make it emissive and glossy. And there we go. We got an arrow saying that we go this way, and then we can do another sign on this side, centered on this one. Now we just copy the settings, and this one we can make it red, and the arrow icon can be an X if one exists. There we go, X. There we go. That's a cool looking tunnel, don't you think? I like that. Anything else we need to add to the tunnel? I mean, functionality wise, it works pretty well as a tunnel. Let's add the signs onto the other side as well. Obviously in opposite directions. I think that looks pretty cool. Alright, cool. So we've got our first tunnel going, and it goes underneath our train station. Nice. I'm just wondering if these fix-it walls are the best walls for the tunnel. Let's try with the steel wall. Does that look better or infinitely worse? It's these triangles that don't look very nice with them. Doesn't look terrible. I think I like the steel wall better than the black wall. What do we think of the steel wall? Does that look better or worse? No, the textures look a bit horrible. These triangle bits. I mean, I suppose if we don't care about what the underneath looks like, we can just flatten out the wall. And what I mean by that is get rid of these stupid triangle bits and just continue the wall out this way. And that looks a lot better from this perspective and makes it a lot easier to build, I guess. So double advantage. The disadvantage is now from the subfloor, it's gonna hang, right? Which, is that a big problem? Because it's the subfloor and we don't really care about the subfloor and no one's ever gonna see it? I think so. I think that's a good reasoning for doing this. I see a lot of advantage and not much disadvantage to doing this. And yeah, there we go. Our tunnel is now complete. I think that looks like a fantastic tunnel. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright, cool. So now, wait, did I add the LED bands on this side? We haven't. Let me just do that real quick. I know they go into the wall a little bit, but that's fine. There we go. That looks kind of nice. I like that. What do you guys think? It's a nice little tunnel and it's pretty noticeable. And it doesn't really interfere with anything else here, so I'm pretty happy with this design. Alright, let's continue the path around. So we've got to build ourselves a little corner over here. And surprisingly, that's perfectly placed. We've got to blow up some of these trees. Now I'm just going to do a corner here very roughly because I don't actually know if we're going to continue the road out this way or what's going to happen here. Actually, we should probably just continue the road one way or another, because which one's more likely to continue? Probably this road. So we'll do a regular road here, and then we'll figure out the join from this road to this road over here. Obviously we don't want these lights here, or don't want this light here. Let's get that in asphalt. Continue these out. Then we just need the markings. So we'll do like this, and there's our little turn. Fantastic. And now our truck can go all the way along here. We're going to chop down some trees along the way so we can record a proper path. And now we're into another spot where it crosses the railway. So we need another tunnel over here. So we know it's 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles out on either side. So we can get rid of that. Get rid of that tree, and then we can start building our tunnel. All right, well, you've seen me build the tunnel before, so you don't need to see me build it a second time. I'll cut to when the tunnel is done. And that's it. Our second tunnel is now implemented, so we can get from there all the way around, and now we can go this way. So we need to do another corner here. So I continued along this road, so I'm going to do the same thing here. No, it doesn't like continuing along this road, but it's fine. I can just manually place it. Get our asphalt, continue this along, get rid of this street light, fix our road barriers up, get our lines in, and that T intersection is done. Nice. So once we get to here, once again, we have to cross these train tracks, so we have to implement one more tunnel over here, so I will quickly do that. We got very, very lucky against the rock over here. Look at the clearance to this rock. It's like basically non-existent. If that rock was in the way, it would have been a big nightmare for this tunnel, but we got very lucky and we just cleared the rock. So yeah, anyway, back to building the tunnel. And just like that, our third tunnel is now done and we're all good to go. So we should be able to set up ourselves a truck stop somewhere and bring in the required materials we need for this factory somewhere. So with this factory, these things are producing the SAM fluctuators, and you probably won't recall from 3 episodes ago, but basically we set up our original design with 5, right? And we definitely know we're going to need more than 5, because I think the point of building this stuff was to get the power for our alien power augmenter, and our alien power augmenter requires a lot more than 50 SAM fluctuators. So this building's going to have to extend at some point, and I'm thinking of just extending it over here, like stack it. Imagine this building, but then I stack it and rotate it 90 degrees so it sticks up there and then it's sort of dangling in midair. And then down here can be like a truck stop, right? So it's going to be somewhere here. I don't know where it's going to be quite yet, but we'll just put a placeholder one, I suppose, like along here. So if we build, oh, not a truck stop. Truck station, right? So if we just build ourselves a truck station here, I want to give some clearance for the road. So I'm going to leave 2 tiles here, and then 1 tile here, and then 1 extra tile for the belts to go down. So like this, right? That way we can put belts down into the floor here. I think that will be okay. But we can always move it later if we want to. This will be our test bench. So we'll add some floor over here. And now I'm just going to pave where I think the road needs to go for this truck stop, right? So let's just get our asphalt customizer out. I'm going to make it double road because we're going to work with trucks, not tractors. So they need a bit of a turning radius. And that's why I left all this space back here. So the truck can come in and then turn back out onto the main road. So say the truck comes in from this side, right? It's going to drive along here, and then it's going to make a turn here. And then it's going to keep going around, deliver its cargo here, turn, and then it's going to make its way back out this way. So let's test if that works with 1 before we paint and decorate everything. We might put the road barriers in because that will dictate how the truck works. And to denote the main road from where truck stops and stuff go, we might use a different road barrier. Let me just delete these ones. We can use low barriers over here instead, I guess. Just to break up the road, the main road from, you know, like parking lots and stuff like that. I'm just adding low barriers along here. And then we're going to try to drive our truck through accordingly. Something like that. It's like a turning bay for the truck. So it goes in here. And then it goes out this side. Now I can't put a arrow thing here, but maybe I can put it on one side and it'll look nice. Let's try it. They do have arrows, right? We don't have arrows, really? We have X's. We have a truck icon. Oh, there's arrows, straight arrow. So we want it to say like arrows, and then we can put, oh, let's do more arrows first, like that. And we'll do arrows like this to indicate that there's meant to be a truck here. And then we can do a truck icon here. That looks kind of cool with a few arrows. Makes the foundation look a little bit more interesting. And then, I don't know, we can add some decoration along here, I suppose. The reason I don't want to decorate this too, I said I don't want to decorate this and I've decorated it heaps. But the reason why I don't want to decorate is because I haven't decided whether I want 2 truck stops or we want to do something interesting with like a drone stations or something here. We might test both, right? Since this is our test bench and this thing needs both wire and steel pipe, maybe we can do one by truck and one by drone and see what's what. But yeah, this is this truck side done. Let me just set this to unload. We definitely need power on this truck station, and we can get powered directly from here. So I just need to figure out where I did power here. I think I just did it straight into here. So there's no power on this wall. We got power via the ceiling, all right? So we can get it straight out this side, I guess, by putting a double wall outlet here. And then we get power to the ceiling over here. Then we should be able to get power from here over to the truck station. That looks kind of janky. Yeah, I don't like this diagonal. To get it straight, it'll be like here. And then that can connect like that. That looks slightly better. I don't mind this diagonal as long as it's straight in one axis. Now our truck station that receives the material now has power. We don't need to configure anything here. Now we need to go sort out the truck station on the other side. So we're over here in our steel campus. So we need to get the steel out of here. Which side does it come out of? It comes out this side. Well, it doesn't matter. We can reverse this thing if we want to. And we need a truck station like here somewhere. Now it probably makes, I was going to say it makes more sense for the trucks. Let's figure it out. If the truck comes in, it needs to be able to loop back out. So we need some sort of pathway around here somewhere. Now I probably don't want the truck to be picking stuff up off the main road here. I don't want it stopping here either. Or maybe we just do all our truck stops along here and then we can do the main road here. That makes the most sense, I think. Just get rid of this light. So I get asphalt along here. Then I can do a bunch of truck stops along here if I need more than one, I think. Now I should replace all of these barriers with low barriers, which I'll do at some point if all this design stuff works out. But for now, we'll just put low barriers here. And then let's just put our truck stops here. So over here, so it fits like around 2 truck stations, right? We put it flush against here, maybe one more tile. That way it's flush against the road and yeah. Where's the center tile? This is the center tile. That's fine. Oh, probably put one here. That way we don't have to delete too much floor tile to get the belt in. Because remember, we might need to supply the steel to many places, right? These steel pipes. And if we want to use multiple truck stations, we're going to need multiple truck stations all along here, everywhere. So we'll have to figure out all the logistics. At the moment, this seems to only accommodate 1 or 2 truck stations. But we might need many, many truck stations, right? And we'll have to figure out where to fit them all in. So here's the truck station. And this one's going to be set to load. It needs power. Oh, I can just connect it to this light for power. That's a nice little hack. Cool. Now it needs fuel. So the fuel goes in here. Now if I delete these to access the subfloor, we can do our standard belt without floor holes using catwalks, I think. And that'll give us subfloor access too. So that's kind of nice. So we need the steel coming out somewhere. So the steel's going to come out here. But we don't want it going direct because we want it sort of continuously producing, right? So we need to put our sink and stuff over here. Damn it. That's not good. Let me figure this out. We might have to reverse this and just turn it, I think is the best way to do this. So we'll delete this and then we'll redo this. Facing this direction this time. Get all these belts in. And now our thing comes out this way and we need it to go to the sink, which is easier said than done because of these belt clips. It's going to get a little bit messy. Alright, so I'm going to... Let's hop this up and over these belts first. So like this. And then we need to get it over here. Why does this not convert to any particular height? That's so weird. Alright, there we go. We'll get that going out here. Now it needs to go into a sink, into a smart splitter. A bunch of stuff needs to happen here. So I can put a splitter at the end of here. Into a smart splitter you go. Then it needs to do that thing where it comes out the wall for storage. Remember what we did over here? So we need to set up something like this for the things. So I'm going to get rid of this. I think we needed to delete that to make the build smoother. So we'll get a storage over here. And we want it to just jut out the wall a tiny little bit, right? Pretty much flush against the wall. Can we go one more? Yeah, I think something like that. Then we put this back in. Like that. Paint that back in. We get our dimensional depot up here. We link this to the dimensional depot. And then now we just need to get that in here. And I don't think this is the right height, is it? It is kind of the right height. It is the right... No, it's not the right height. It needs to go down half a notch. Oh, this is super annoying. I can't get this to go down half a notch. Alright, we're gonna have to change the way this works. I think this is the correct... Is this the correct height for this? Yeah, that's the correct height for this. But I can't get that going up and then down. Huh. So we're gonna get that going like this. And then this needs to meet that height. Which is that. Let me check if that's the right height. No, that needs to go much taller. 1, 2, 3. 3? Nope, 4. So yeah, that goes in there. So I'm gonna smart splitter this. And then we're gonna get the overflow going out into the storage like that. But before it goes into storage, it needs to also go into another overflow. So that's going to be any, and then the left is going to be overflow, and that's going to go into a sink. I don't know why I feel the need to sync everything. I guess we're going to get as many tickets as we can, but that's fine. I was just trying to see how I built my sink last time, but I think a sink just fits neatly in here like that. Now we just get power to the sink like that. That looks a bit ugly. Get it into this corner first, and then get it into the sink. It's a little bit cleaner. Alright, cool. So now from this sink, we need to get this one, and then from here, that needs to go out somewhere. That looks really messy. Let me just redo this. We might just smart splitter on the floor first, and then we'll get it going up. No, I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, we'll just keep this configuration and then we'll just bring it back down, I think, into the floor. So we'll bring a belt over this way. That's a bit too tall. So this belt goes in here to sink the excess. And that should be the overflow on the left. And any main stuff goes in here. So this should be overflow on the right. And that will get everything going. Now, all the overflow goes into here to store first. When that gets full, the rest gets sunk, but for my main stuff, it's this one, and it needs to go into the floor. Where is a clean spot it can go into the floor from? It's probably going to be around here, right? Like that. And there's just a billion lifts, but we'll do it in line, at least make that straight. Like here. And then the lifts look a bit messy, but I think it's mostly fine. And then we can get that going straight in here. And that's going to go into the floor, and that's the main output, right? And now we've got the floor hole where the most of the stuff is going to go. Now we can link that to the truck stop. Just trying to figure out how to clear this belt area. I think we just bring it down. We'll bring the fuel first, I think, because the fuel line is more important than anything else. So let's head over to the fuel station first, and we'll bring the fuel line into the floor. And we will probably follow the fuel line along these main roads, because obviously wherever a truck stop's going to go, or a drone port, or maybe not the drone port so much, but at least the truck stops are all going to go somewhere near a main road. So it makes sense to bring the fuel close to the main road. I believe this is my main fuel line. We haven't set it up yet because it's our first truck stop. So we'll bring it over to the main road and bring a belt along north-south like this, all the way to where we see asphalt. And it should clear the pipes nicely, because that's the way we've set up the pipes. And now we're at the asphalt, right? So now we can turn this and follow the main road. We'll just follow the center of the main road. Now I think the fuel I'm going to do something special with. And that is going to be, the fuel is going to run in the middle of everything. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to set up like conveyor poles up maybe 3 levels. Is that the halfway point of my height? Let me just set up conveyor poles to see where the height ends. So 1, 2, 3, yeah. So if I set up 3 or maybe we'll just do 2 conveyor poles. That way it allows belts to clear underneath. Or 2 levels of belts to clear underneath, because the fuel line is going to run everywhere and it's going to get in the way of everything basically. So we did that, and then we run this fuel line like this. It should clear everything nicely. And we'll follow this height along everywhere. So let's bring belts and I'll set that up. It's going to be a bit annoying to set up, but I think it'll be well worth it. That way we don't have to worry about bringing the fuel up and down when we turn it and stuff. And this level will be dedicated to fuel, because fuel's going to run all over the base, right? Alright, I've run the fuel line all the way from over there following the main road, and now we're somewhat near our truck stop. So let's bring this down to our truck stop. So somewhere like here. I need to figure out the right height. Is it from the floor? 1, 2, 3, 4, I reckon? And then we need to split this. I hope that's the right height. So we need to split this somewhere here. And this is how we're going to deal with fuel. Like whenever we need fuel, we just split it off the main line and then just bring it into wherever we need fuel. So for example here, and now our truck stop should have fuel. Fantastic. Great. So that's one thing down. Now with the fuel in, we can worry about how we're going to get the steel in, and we're going to get it in as clean as possible. So it's going to go from here into here. Which one's the input? That's the output. That's the input. Kind of want to just bring it out straight from above, but probably don't want to do that. It's going to intercept the fuel line if I do it this way. So we'll have to go this way. And then we'll bring it this way, like that. And where's the actual output for this thing? That's over here. I think that's the steel. So we'll bring it down to the floor because we're going to run this east-west. So we're going to bring that over this way. And then somehow these two are going to meet. That one is following perfectly along here, so that just needs to be 1, 2 tiles out, and that should go up and meet this thing perfectly. Bring that up to the roof, just like that, and these two should be a straight line all the way in, and that should get steel into the truck stop. Now truck stops shouldn't need buffering or anything fancy like that. It should just work normally. So I'm just going to seal the rest of this area off. I can't seal this one. So we're just going to use catwalks for this. Our good old catwalks. Like that. And an intersection there. That looks good to me. I think the rest of this should just be fix-it foundation now. Or at least some of this should just be fix-it foundation. That doesn't look good. Let's do grip metal. I think that fits with the catwalks a lot better. And we'll leave some space for future logistics stuff. It doesn't really matter. And that's it. That's our truck stop done. And it should have steel in there now. And now we just need to run our actual truck. So it doesn't really matter which way I run it from. I guess since it's going to be driving this way, we'll just get it in this way, right? So let's get some arrows in there to denote that. Is that the right place for the arrow? Put our truck icon here. Some more right arrows over here. And we'll just do some more straight arrows this way. There we go. I think that looks okay. I think that denotes the lanes pretty well. And now we can run an actual truck and see if any of this even works. I think I want to get rid of this one. Like that. I think that looks pretty neat. Alright, nothing to do but run an actual truck now. Haven't done this for a really long time. It's going to grab some fuel. I don't know if about starting a truck here. So we might start the truck like here. Because when it comes back, it'll probably come back the same route and then go in here and do something like that. Okay, so we'll just start the truck here, I guess. All right, I'm terrible at driving, so wish me luck. And this road is not very catered to trucks because it's only one line, one row long. But we'll do our best to drive a smooth route. All right, cool. Truck works. Let's get recording. Wish me luck, guys. Try to do it with as least stops as possible. F to load. And we'll assume that's loaded. And then off we go. Try to not cross the center line so it doesn't run into other trucks too often. Oh, it's so hard to control this truck. I've already crashed. Can't see through the tunnel. That's fine. That was the worst turn ever. Got another tunnel coming up. I can already see so many truck crashes happening. We might have to change this to tractors. We'll have to see if the tractors can keep up with the throughput, but probably need to change this to tractors. Oh, there's a tree here. Okay, that tree was kind of in the way, and I don't know how this is going to affect my truck path. Pretty badly, I would assume. Alright, that's terrible. I gotta stop recording this. I gotta start again now and get rid of this stupid tree that got in the way. Any other trees along the way? I don't think so. Now I gotta get this truck back on the road somehow. It's like impossible to get this truck back on the road. Okay, so we'll just start again. And try to record an even better path. Put some fuel in there. And let's start recording. Off we go. Oh, that was a beautiful turn. Try to get it through this tunnel. Well, I can't see. And then here we are at the truck stop. Oh god. Make this really tight turn. And then we're at the truck stop. We will hit here, stop here to unload. Okay, I assume that's enough unloading time. Off we go. Made that turn. Oh, the autosave lag. Try to drive in a straight line into this tunnel. Try to make this left turn as cleanly as possible. Oh, it's not that clean. It's alright. Got to get the truck straight again to enter this tunnel. Oh, it's so hard to keep the truck straight. Got to get the left turn here going. It's good enough. Stay on the road. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. We've almost got a nice clean path. And then we'll do the turn into here. And then do the turn into the truck stop. And then we go F to load. And off we go. Now we need to close the path and we're done. It's got to drive straight all the way back to where our path started, which is over there somewhere. That was a pretty clean turn. I have no faith that trucks aren't going to crash, but hey, that'll just add to the amusement, right? Let's go straight under this tunnel again. And we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Just got to make no mistakes over here. And boom, our path is now cleared. So we can save the path. We'll call this Steel Route 1. Save that. And it's been set as the vehicle's active path. So now we can, I believe we don't want to hide the path nodes. We just enable the autopilot and we jump out of it and the truck should get going. Steel route 1, yep. It requires 13 fuel per trip, great. There you go. I had to kickstart it a little bit, but it seems to be going. And then it's already struggling with my roads, fantastic. But it will snap back to the main path. It seems to be okay with the straight bits. Let's see how it does with the unloading. Oh man, it's so terrible. It's trying to... like, I wish I could just shift these nodes a little bit. I can only delete nodes. I can't, like, move them around. But it did make it, and it did unload some steel. So that's good. But it's turned really weirdly. Oh, and then I have to edit these stop nodes to an appropriate amount of time, right? This pause node, 7.5 seconds. I think that's a decent amount of time, honestly. And then it gets stuck over here because it's bad at driving, or I'm bad at driving or something. And off it goes again. It's stuck again, kind of. What is it doing? There we go. It's sorted itself out. It's really, really struggling with these turns. Now it's tipped over. Okay. This is going to be a hilarious comedy show, watching these trucks try to do their thing. Well, it's definitely going to slow down their path if it's going to be like terrible like this every time. But maybe we can replace them with tractors. I don't know. Maybe tractors will have a better time than trucks doing this. My roads definitely aren't wide enough to accommodate trucks, I think. Can it make this turn? Kind of. Yeah, made that turn perfectly fine. Anyway, I'm going to leave this truck to it. Let's continue on our experiment. The next part of our experiment involves the second portion of our SAM fluctuators, which is the copper wire. I'm going to remind myself where copper wire is even being produced. I believe it's in this parking lot over here. We're producing copper wire like somewhere here. That's Caterium. Is it both? Copper wire is being produced down here. Cool. So we can do something over here, and I'm thinking I want to test out a drone station. And this is a pretty good area to test it out because it's already a parking lot. So if I remove some of these decorative bits, our copper is right here. Or did I... let me see how I set this up. So all the copper that's being produced, well, some of the copper that's being produced is coming out here. How much? Wait, what did I do? So the copper being produced here is 120 per machine. There's 10, so that's 1200. All right, so this is like one full belt of copper, and this is like a second belt of copper, right? Because each one of these is producing 120 copper, and 10 of them is 1200. So there's two sets of 1200 copper here. We should probably put some signs here to denote that. I'm just going to copy this and put one over here. And I'm going to put another one over here because there's actually two belts of copper coming out of here. So this is wire, and that's also wire. Then I'm going to set their output. Both of these are producing 1200 output. Now, the second thing I wanted to test was drones. And you'd think it'd be a good idea to put the drone station on a roof. But the thing is, to get the fuel to the roof, it's going to be really difficult, right? So maybe we'll just put a drone station here. That is absolutely massive. I mean, we can put it here in the parking lot. It makes sense drone ports go on the roof, doesn't it? It actually looks really nice with the drone port on the roof. It fits so nicely with everything. If we were to put a drone port on the roof, we'd need to get fuel up to the roof, basically. Well, that's going to be so difficult to do. Not super difficult. We can just run the fuel up the side down here. It's just this particular building has parts that don't like running through because it has these curved bits, so the belt doesn't run through them very nicely. Let me just think about this for a second. We can do that. I mean, we might as well give it a go. So we put a drone port flush against this roof. Look how nice it looks though. It's like roof decoration as well. All right, we're gonna figure out how to make this work. So let's do the input first because the input is probably the easiest thing to do. So there's the conveyor belt. So let's get the input going first. And we need to go into the subfloor and bring it through here somewhere. If we were to follow this hole here, it would be here, right? No, not there. One in. Here, but one in. Like that would go down to this floor. We probably shouldn't follow it through this floor. We need a clean path for the wire to go up. So it makes sense to follow it somewhere along the edge so it doesn't intersect with lights and stuff. So if we look at the main splitter, this is the main splitter. So this here is the main output. And if we get rid of this pole, we can output this, like, say, along this wall over here. So like something like this, 1, 2. And we can output that against the wall, and that way it will be nice and out of the way. Because we actually need to go through every single level and punch this all the way up to the roof. Gotta replace all these ceiling tiles that we're deleting along the way. And now it should be up here somewhere. Hopefully it doesn't intersect anything important. We'll put the floor hole, next one over here. Oops. There. Get that going through here. I think I want it to turn this way, that way. It doesn't really matter. And now we should be... Is this the roof now? Yeah, now it's the roof. So we need to get this one into meet the floor hole here. So that shouldn't be too difficult. We'll just get a floor hole facing this way, and we'll get this one facing... I think it's too tight to do 90 degrees. What do you think? Oh, it should be fine. Yeah, we can just barely do a 90-degree turn, and that gets our copper in. Our drone station obviously needs power, doesn't it? Okay, how are we going to get power up here? Where is our power? It's over here somewhere. Okay, we'll just have to run new power over here somewhere. And then we can run it from here directly into the drone station, and that should be barely visible. Oh man, it's kind of visible. Alright, we'll run the power down the drone port. That's kind of annoying. Can we run it onto the ceiling here? Yeah, we can. So we run it onto the ceiling, then the power cable goes straight down, and then from here... Oh, this is the jankiest power I've ever done. It's going to be so hard to troubleshoot where this power is coming from one day. But that's fine. We'll get it going through there so all the cable is hidden and it doesn't create random cables over there. And now it is powered. Since it's powered nicely, we can now connect that, and that should be loading in our copper wire. Fantastic. Now, our second challenge is the fuel itself. Now, we can run fuel up the building as well, but I don't think I want to run fuel up the building because it doesn't feel right to me. We would probably run fuel out the side somewhere. So something like this, and then like across here, and then we just run it down through here. And I know it punches through multiple ones of these things, but so be it. Oh, it fits. The height is perfectly here. And where's my fuel line? Oh, it starts over there, damn it. Alright, I'm just gonna run this down here for now, because I just need the thing in the subfloor, and then I can figure out the fuel. So I kind of wanted to run both directions, and I'm not gonna loop it all the way around and back, so I'm just gonna split it, I think. So we build a splitter here, and then we run it into the splitter. Get the splitter with the input facing this direction. Then we can run the fuel line down this way as well. And then we can run this somewhere. We'll just do it up to here for now. Like that, and then we can follow the main road out this way as well. So let me put down some subfloor. And we're going to do the same thing and drag this belt out a little bit. And I think it's out enough for this thing, so I'm going to bring this down to the correct level, which is, I think, down 1, 2. That looks too low. From here, it's 1, 2, I think, is the correct level. We'll find out in a second, because then we need another splitter over here. Alright, let me just run the belt so we have a snapping point. It doesn't give me a snapping point. Ah, okay. We're at the wrong level. But that should give me a snapping point, right? Surely. We just have to manually line this up till it's good enough. This thing is down 1 too far, so from the bottom it goes up 1, 2, 3 bits, and that should give a straight line. Nope, 4 bits. So from the floor, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the correct pipe for fuel. We just got to remember that going forward. And then we can run a straight line over here. Fuel is going to ignore the north, south, east, west directional thing. It's just going to have its own priority level in the middle of the floor, I think. Because fuel is going to go everywhere. Alright, now we're back out. So in theory, this thing should now have fuel. It does, and it has that. So we can now set up a drone and a drone station on the other side. So we'll put down a drone on this side. And this is going to be the load, which is fine. I think it already loaded into the drone, maybe. I see some missing wire. And now we're going to go on the other side and make a matching drone port. Now this is probably going to be factory if I build more factory over here. So I'm going to do the drone port right here. Something like this. Oh, wait, this one doesn't need, only one of the 2 drone ports needs fuel, right? I think. Yeah. So this one doesn't need fuel and therefore can be built anywhere. It just needs a little bit of space for unloading the cargo. Put it facing this direction as well. Pretty arbitrary where I put it. Just leaving some room for the belt. I'm just going to put it here for now. I haven't named any of these truck stops, eh? We should probably name all these at some point to make it more, oh man, I'm going to have to think of a naming convention now. First I need to do power. So we'll do a power line next to here. We'll just bring the power from here to the power line. And then from the power line into here and from the power line into here. That'll do for now. Looks a bit janky with the power lines, but so be it. So it's got power, and now we just need to name these drone stations. SAM Fluctuator. I think if we name the drone ports the material, it should be okay, right? Let's test it out, because this has power now. So let's go over to the other side and see if the drone will fly over to the SAM Fluctuator area. We'll rename this one copper wire. Well, we'll just call it wire. So if I go to this port, and this port sets its destination to SAM Fluctuator, and the SAM Fluctuator comes, well, I only need to set one direction, right? Is that how it works? It looks like it's taking off. Let's follow the drone. Now, do drones need buffering? I think maybe drones need buffering. I'm not too sure. Where did it go? It went under the floor. Oh, it just appeared magically over here. So now it's going to drop off the copper wire here, right? I think the drones need buffering because it takes a while for it to land, maybe. Let me just see if this actually works. Oh, I didn't set this to unload, did I? No, it does unload. Okay. Doesn't seem like the drone port disables itself. So let's just do it without buffering to keep it simple. And then if we need to add buffering, we can add buffering. We've got plenty of space everywhere. So let's get the output of the drone and the truck, and we'll link it up to our actual building. Now we want to keep it consistent. You know what? I'm just going to use holes. I was going to do the catwalk thing on this side too, but I think we'll just do holes. Is that thing going into the floor hole properly? It's not. Why? It hates this floor hole. What? Doesn't like this floor hole for some reason. Anyway, I'll just turn it facing the other direction. Alright, let's go into the subfloor and connect these belts. We need to get these hooked up properly. So we left the room over here for these things already set up from our episode where we built this factory. We just need to hook up the actual inputs. So let's do that now. So here's one input and here's the other one. Let's just do... that one can just hook up to this one, I guess. And because it's traveling in this direction, we should probably get it to the floor. Need more subfloor. This thing's really annoying. I don't know why it's doing this thing, but maybe we can get it out of the actual floor hole. It might be a bit easier. So we'll reverse that. That's an output. We'll get that going. That's an input. And in theory, that should just connect to there. And that's one material down. I'm not getting anything. Why? Oh, right, because I haven't connected anything yet. Silly me. So I should be able to get that into there, right? Like that. And hopefully that's starting to unload the steel pipe. It is. Fantastic. Now we'll get the other one going like this. And we'll just get that coming straight down. Just like that. And that should get our wire in. Fantastic. Now I'm going to sync this stuff and then let it run for a bit to see if it can keep up with the demand of this thing. So we haven't done any of the output for this because obviously we weren't making any of these fluctuators before. So we will set up that now. So let's start with some lifts. I have to face outwards because they can't face inwards. And then we'll merge them all somewhere, probably this way. And then we can face this one out, say this way. Now it needs to follow the same things as we always do, which is basically it needs to go into a smart splitter first, because it's going to be used for stuff. So we're going to build a smart splitter here somewhere, like that. Maybe we'll face this the right direction then. So it's going to merge all the SAM fluctuators into this smart splitter. We can get rid of these two. And then from this smart splitter, we need to go into another smart splitter basically. So let me set up another one. A little bit too close. So we're going to get another smart splitter there. And then we need some sort of industrial storage. We might just do it out here, honestly. Let's see what the sink looks like. Pretty big, but it fits within these two tiles. So I might just do it out here. And we've got power right here, which is fantastic. Then we basically want to draw out a belt that goes out there, straight from here to here, like this. I got it at the right height, perfect. Like that. That actually looks decent. I don't mind it coming out the main entrance. What do we think? If we hate it, we can always bring it through the floor, but I like the belt. It looks kind of cool. I'll just leave it like that for now. But basically, this is going to be the overflow, and then where are we going to store everything? We need an industrial storage somewhere. We'll put it near the entrance. Embed it into the wall. Now we'll give it some space like that. Oh, we can bring it in a little bit. That way make it a little bit easier to deal with. And then we can build a dimensional depot above there. And then we can get the material storing into the depot. And this can go straight into here. So it needs to go down a bit like that and in. Kind of don't like that sticking out like that. So we can get it doing it the other way like this. Oh no, now it doesn't like that. Like that. That's too high. What? How is one too high and one too low? That makes no sense whatsoever. But that's fine. That's straight. What? That makes no sense whatsoever. But this is still fine. It doesn't look too messy. But we got to set it up. So over here is the main flow, and that's going to go out to whatever structure. And then the overflow is going to go out this side. And then from this overflow, the main flow is going to go out this side, and the overflow is going to go out the right, and that way we can sync everything. And now we have SAM fluctuators. Fantastic. So these are all producing at maximum speed, and we're going to have to let this run for a while to see if these can keep up. These two materials can keep up, so that we can test whether drone logistics or truck logistics is good enough for this sort of build. And we're syncing everything, so we should be able to test that to see if this thing can continuously run. So far, it's looking, I mean, it had plenty of time to buffer, but it seems to be going okay. Does this tell me how much fuel it takes up per trip? It's like NA, no destination set, so I'm assuming I have to go to look at this one to see the destination. Because that fuel, the truck line route tells me that it uses 3.4 fuel per trip, which is basically, it uses nothing, right? Like 3.4 per trip, and a trip takes like 2 or 3 minutes. So it should never run out of fuel. But let's just double check this thing. I think this will be a pretty cool way of transporting stuff around our base, especially later on when we can see like many drones flying all over our base. It'll bring some life to the base, I think. So how much fuel does it say it uses? It takes 3 minutes per round trip, and it uses up 15 fuel per minute, and we're producing about 600 fuel. So we can support quite a lot of this before we run out of fuel issues. And of course we can upgrade our fuel one day when we have the factories all set up for it. We can very easily replace the fuel line with a new fuel line and then just replace this factory. But for now, I think we're all good. And here comes the drone again and doing another route. Fantastic. And just like that, our SAM fluctuators are now online. I wish I can see the belt of stuff to see if it ever stops. I don't think the truck belt ever stops, but does this ever stop? But because it's supplying so much, like, because we don't need 1200, so we shouldn't need buffers for this in theory. Because even if it stops for like 10 seconds, it should be still fine, right? I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I can see whether the flow stops or not while the drone is docked. I guess I can just stare at this and watch the drone dock. Does it show me where my drone is? I think it's coming. It's a shame it doesn't fly over my buildings and it just like kind of appears out of thin air. I can hear the drone coming from the underneath the floor. There it is. It's docking now. So let's watch the fuel go as it docks. I mean, let's watch these wires go as it docks. See how it's not really stopping? And I think the thing is docking right now. There it is. It just docked and it dropped off the new wire and it never stopped. So we don't need buffers for this, I don't think. I think we're all sweet. Perfect. So that's working and that's working. This seems to be all good. Our trucks should be coming through any minute now. And I think this is pretty cool. So I'm going to go find my truck and go hide these nodes now. It's a bit annoying with these nodes constantly showing. So hide path nodes. And yeah, I think once we finish off this section of the factory, it'll be really cool. Because we will build another section of factory over here when we need it, and I'm sure we'll need it very soon. So this place will just remain a little bit unfinished, which is fine. I might need to measure out how much space I need to leave for my next factory, because we're going to continue building the alien power matrix next. So sand fluctuators was one component of the alien power matrix. The other components are equally difficult. We need to make power shards next. And power shards are made from a bunch of these crazy new components. So we're going to have to figure out how to make all that and in what quantity and things. So plenty of challenges about to come up. We're going to need to build something cool for quantum encoders and things like that. And those buildings are all very interesting shaped. So it'll force us to build some interesting and cool factories. If you don't want to miss out on that, don't forget to leave a like and sub, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.